Oh man, so listen, Tyrese, that boy filed a lawsuit against Home Depot. And the reason being is because of racial profiling during a store visit. We're gonna watch the video. We're gonna tap into my boy Sensei Rip over at Forgotten Kings TV. We're gonna check that out. But listen, they saying that Tyrese and two men described as associates of the Fast and Furious star who regularly provide construction services to Gibson filed a lawsuit against the home improvement company, alleging that the three experienced outrageous discriminatory mistreatment and consumer racial profiling during a visit to the company's West Hills, California store in February. So Gibson and the two other plaintiffs, Eric Mora and Manuel Hernandez, are seeking over $1 million in damages to reflect the amount Gibson says he spent at Home Depot locations over his lifetime. Damn. In addition to punitive damage and a declaratory judgment declaring that Home Depot's actions violated California's Unruly Civil Rights Act. Okay, so the lawsuit alleges that when Gibson, Mora, and Hernandez visited the company's West Hills location on February 11th, the actor and musician decided to wait in his vehicle for the two other men to complete their transaction with his credit card when fans of Gibson began noticing he was in the store. The lawsuit claims Gibson told the cashier he would allow Mora and Hernandez to use his credit card to complete their purchase. It alleges the cashier refused to complete the purchase transaction even after Gibson returned to the store. All right, so the cashier gave no reasonable explanation other than repeating store policy and demanding to see a form of identification. The lawsuit alleges the manager refused to speak with Gibson in person. It was only after significant heated discussion with the cashier that Gibson was finally able to complete the transaction. The lawsuit alleges that the store's employees purposely interfered with and refused to process the transaction based on their groundless suspicion of Gibson, Mora, and Hernandez arising from their skin color, and in this case of Mora and Hernandez, their national origin. Gibson appeared to record at least a part of the encounter as it happened. In February, a portion of the clip uploaded to YouTube shows the actor on FaceTime call with the cashier after he left the store. As he tells the cashier, "I understand the policy, but you know you're being extra right now." That's crazy because the article they listed is my boy's article, Sensei Rip, man. Shout out to Forgotten Kings TV. The homie got 1 million views on this one right here, man. I mean, smashed one. I haven't watched this. It's crazy. Out of the 1 million people, I haven't even watched this, dog. Shout out to my boy, though. So, listen, we gonna watch this. Said I haven't watched it before. Let's see what's going on, man. You got time, I got time, folks. Let's see. Was he really racially profiled, dog?
What's going on, world? It's Xiaomi Sensei ripping them back again with another video.
It's good,
Today we got Tyrese getting into a heated exchange with the cashier that works at Home Depot. That's right, y'all. This morning, Tyrese uploaded a video of him and his workers going back to Home Depot after they were denied, services for failing to provide proper documentation. You know how stores are. You use certain credit cards, you have to provide proper identification. And at the time, Tyrese had sent his workers, and he tried to reason it out over the phone, but it seemed like things was getting out of hand. So Tyrese himself had to come to the store. I'll let you see what happened afterwards. Y'all let me know, do you think Tyrese handled the situation accordingly, or was he out of pocket for not having proper identification? Let me know down below, but let's get right to it.
Okay. Well, my first racist Karen at Home Depot.
Can you please include that information? I was just there.
He on FaceTime.
I just walked. I was just in your store, ma'am. If you're going to talk to your manager, tell your manager the truth. I was just in the store and I gave my guys my credit card in front of your staff and team member and I walked off. Don't say that I'm not there with no ID. You can pull up the cameras. I was there 5 minutes ago. This is completely unnecessary, what you're doing right now. I'm not answering what?
See? Do you have a pro account?
Ma'am, should I have the CEO of Home Depot to call you tomorrow? Because he's my neighbor. He's my neighbor in Atlanta. You want me to get the CEO of Home Depot to call you and tell you that this is unnecessary, what you're doing?
Yeah, my manager said that's fine.
Okay, tell your manager I was just in the store. Do you want to tell him that part?
He can hear you.
Okay, manager, what is his name?
Carlos.
Carlos, what's his last name?
That's not necessary.
What?
You work in Home Depot. You work in a public place. You're asking me for my first and last name. I'm giving it to you. Tyrese Gibson. And those guys are my designers and builders. And I was just in your store 5 minutes ago. And you're on the phone with me asking for ID and you're talking to the ID. I was just in your store. I understand policy, but you know you're being extra right now.
Your physical ID.
Excuse me?
Credit card.
This is Tyrese Gibson. I was just in your store.
Store policy.
Okay, what is his last name? Store policy.
I'm not giving you the last name.
Okay, what is your name?
Is this at this point in time? Is this racial discrimination or is it discrimination against famous people? Like, because like she's being stubborn because she doesn't want to go against store policy, but maybe she never seen a Fast and the Furious. Maybe she never seen Baby Boy or none of the maybe she never seen none of those movies. She doesn't know who Tyrese Gibson is. Maybe she just doesn't fucking know, which is okay. Everyone doesn't have to be obsessed with celebrities. It's okay. But in this position, if she does know, what would you do? Cause me, I don't give that much damn about a Home Depot. If I see it's Tyrese card, okay, Tyrese, I got you. Swipe. I'm going on about my day instead of all this extra shit. That's what I would do. And I've been a manager of certain places and never had issues before. Never had issues when it comes to certain things because I can use discretion. Certain things when you think it's going to be fraud. Then you step in and that's when you can go apply store policy, can't help you. Store policy can't help you. When you know you're at risk for fraud. But in this situation, you know you're not at that risk. It's fucking Tyrese Gibson. You talking to him, okay, all right, whatever. You just trying to go on, move on and help other customers. That's how I would think if I'm a manager in this situation. It's fucking Tyrese. It's his car, man, whatever. Keep it pushing. Let's help the next people. Especially this person coming and constantly shopping at my store. That's how I would think. And yes, it's not the damn policy. It's not the policy. But sometimes managers use discretion to make certain decisions just to make sure that they keep running smoothly, keeps everyone in a good headspace. Because all this catty back and forth for what reason? Don't see it. But from what I see so far, they're protected under any racial discrimination shit because she's just doing her job, and she's not giving more privilege to him than that she would give to a normal person. So I think she's protected so far with what she's doing. Her part in particular.
What is your name?
My name's Corelli.
Aurelie?
Yep, Curly.
And what's your last name?
I'm not giving you my last name.
I've never heard that before.
Okay, I like your bangs. You have a good night.
You as well.
All right, Karen. Okay, Karen, take care. Thanks, Karen. What time do they close, Manuel?
What time? Excuse me. What time you close the store? What time you close the store? 10 o'clock.
I'll be on my way.
I've done this work too in the past, and I used to hate it because I used to have to use my card when I would go and pick up materials, and then the contractor would just pay me back later. But you just keep the receipt. But I'll use my card to just stop whatever issues and stuff like that. Sometimes you get a store credit card if they have money on that stuff. I used to hit my damn credit card limit all the damn time messing around with Home Depot, boy. That's why I used to hate spending my own money. But I'll get paid back. I work with a good team, so they'll pay me back. Contractors always pay me back.
Is that everything you're getting right there? 3,000? Okay. Go ahead. You got it. My ID? So you're a supervisor, right? What's your name? Corelli? And your last name is what? Why not? Because you work here. And I have a problem with your energy and your unprofessionalism. So what's your last name? Okay. So, ma'am, how long?
Don't consent to being recorded.
What is? How long have you been working here, ma'am? You? I just have a question. How long? 1 year. Okay. Gotcha. So, my problem with what just happened is that I've been living 3 blocks in here for 10 years. And if this is a policy without a pro account, why are you the first person to stop my team and my builder from coming here when I've been coming to this particular Home Depot for 10 years? Make me understand that. If this is a policy and you're the boss and you run this place, why are you the only one doing or living up to the company policy? Explain that to me.
I can explain other people's actions.
You can, because they reflect you. If you're the boss and you're the manager and you say it's company policy to show ID before you swipe a credit card, unless you have a pro account, I'm asking you and your staff and your team, these people all work for you. And you're the supervisor, you're the manager, anything that anybody do as far as their role that may not have the same particular seniority that you have, make me understand, after 10 years of coming to this place with the same guys swiping for way bigger amounts, and this is like the smallest transaction they've done. Make me understand in 10 years why no one has ever asked for ID. You don't know? And you work here. And you're the supervisor. You're the cashier supervisor. Which means that when everybody do all the shopping, they got to come see you before they swipe their card, along with the rest of your team that are cashiers, correct? Because if it's a policy, then everybody should be living up to the policy, right? So make me understand after 10 years why this just happened for the first time without a pro account. I've not been to the store. And make me understand how you just seen me and other people that work here just seen me physically in the store. And I was just here. Sir, did you just see me in the store? Sir?
I gave you, no, I'm not lying. I gave you $20, I remember that.
So how did you barely look at me if I bought 2 candy bars from you and we gave you the scanning machine? You looked at me.
All right, so real quick, just stopping in the meantime. He's right, but then all she has to do is say they were violating policies. I'm doing it the right way. So all those people could be reprimanded for violating the store policy because they were doing the wrong thing. So that doesn't make her at fault because she decides to do the right thing. You happen to stumble across her that day. Now, what could happen moving forward is that Tyrese can force every single person to be ID'd now. And that could become a problem. Now, if this particular person isn't IDing every single cashier that comes through, every single person that does a purchase under their watch, then she could be, you could be looking at her like, okay, why are you discriminating against this person or that person or third? But it's the same reason as you leave cashiers to have discretion as far as when they check people for ID for alcohol. They're supposed to check every person for ID. Unless the person looks over 40 at some stores, then you don't check them. But who is determined that the person looks over 40? Like, come on. So it's so many things that's up to rule for discretion. So I really want to see, like, first I'm gonna go through this comment section to see what people are thinking, to get like a good idea of what people are thinking. I want to see what y'all think.
We just did the whole transaction and I walked out. Are you telling me you've never seen me until right now?
No, I'm not saying that. I just didn't recognize you.
I'm not talking about recognize me as a celebrity. You did.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Correct? I just want you to confirm that I was just in the store 5 minutes ago.
Because you were there, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I didn't know if it was you that was there. I barely looked at your face.
Okay.
I was really bringing all this stuff up, and they were handing you different things, so then you were like, oh, thank for it. So I just did it real quick so I could get back to the other. So that's why I didn't get it. Okay.
Only time I show ID at only time that, like I told you, I used to go to Home Depot all damn time. Only time that I've shown ID was to do returns for store credit or use store credit.
Okay, so I just called you on FaceTime.
That's not valid form of ID.
No?
No.
That's
A passport or
10
state
years.
ID.
10 years coming. No pro account. I'm just trying to understand how you're the first person to say, here's the company policy and this is what we're not doing. Just trying to understand. And you represent the supervisor cashier. Make me understand how all of these cashiers for the last 10 years have been swiping my credit card without me physically being here with no ID, with no pro. That's the policy. Make me understand. Because them not doing that is not living up to the policy that you're supposed to put in place and keep in place. I'm going to tell you what this feels like. This feels like racism. And I don't pull the race card. This feels like racism. And you're not professional enough to apologize or give us better energy, even though I didn't physically came back. Your staff and employee that works with you and for you as another cashier, he just seen me. I bought 2 candy bars. He looked me in my face. He swiped it, and I walked right out the store. Is that the policy too? Where he's going to use a scanner and pay for 2 candy bars, and let me walk out the store?
You were with them.
Exactly right. Which means I never showed you my ID, and I never swiped my credit card, and I walked out with 2 candy bars. Is that also the policy?
But I saw them nod, like, oh yes.
They nodded.
Yeah.
And I also just called her on the phone, and I showed her my face, told her I was just in the store, and I nodded as well. So why did you let me walk out the store with 2 candy bars without ID and without swiping my card?
God damn.
You're adding it to the
That was the whole total, but you don't even know if my credit card would actually go through. You let me walk out the store without seeing my ID or letting my credit card swipe. Is that company policy? I'm just trying to understand what I don't understand.
I'm not sure if that relates to what.
Don't worry about who I am. I really thank you. They're disrespecting me and my team on purpose. And I'm hamming.
I'm not handing you any different than I handle anybody.
I'm asking you company policy-wise because I don't work here. And I didn't make up any of the rules. Do you let people come to Home Depot as a cashier and you scan candy bars or drinks or anything and you let them walk out the store without paying? That's what I'm
If
asking
it
you.
was one person alone, no, I wouldn't let them do that.
Okay. I'm good, man. I'm just trying to understand why I'm feeling what I'm feeling.
What happened? I mean, about were you with a customer calling over the phone about the
Yes,
transaction?
that was me.
Yeah. So unfortunately, and I get your point. I mean, your frustration, and I do apologize about that. But she was just following protocols.
Okay, I'm asking about the protocol because I don't work here.
Got it.
So educate me about the protocol. I walked up to this gentleman. I grabbed 2 candy bars.
Got it.
He scanned it,
Yes.
and I said, "Hey man, they're gonna finish the rest of the transaction. They got my credit card," and I left.
Okay.
I did not pay for my 2 candy bars.
But you left the credit card to that person?
With them. I was just here with them, and this man just seen me. He scanned. Hold on, let me finish. He scanned my 2 candy bars. I looked him in his face. They were finishing up the transaction, and I walked out of your store with 2 candy bars, no ID, and I didn't swipe my card to pay for it. And he let me leave. So then, as I left, sir, they're now here to finish the transaction because irregardless of who I am, I don't like getting attention. And I just started seeing people looking, and I was like, let me go ahead and work my way out. They've been coming here and working with me. They work with me. I don't treat anybody less than. I treat everybody with respect. They've been working with me for 10 years. I have not been in this store in probably 6 years. So I'm asking the supervisor, who won't give me her last name, what is the store policy that you have in place that you're supposed to implement where I'm able to scan 2 candy bars and walk outside without my ID and without paying for it? And he let me leave. And I'm calling you on FaceTime to say if you have an ID problem and I don't have a pro account, you're looking at me on FaceTime and I'm telling you it's me. And then you're saying the policy is I got to come in here and show my ID. So why did your coworker let me leave with 2 candy bars with no ID and I didn't swipe the credit card? If that's your policy, that's what I'm asking. If that's your policy, I'm asking you. I don't work here. I'm asking you what
Hey,
is
he
your policy?
green and fuck. Homie green. He ain't try to step in and help no more. He put that bitch dead on her shoulders. He waiting for the answer too. Hey man, it could probably, with a good lawyer, he can win a lawsuit. Probably can. When it comes to someone to be able to use the discernment, you gotta see like, okay, what are the factors that you're using to make your decision? So why did she make the decision to not, let these people just swipe the card opposed to other people?
This is a reflection of you. Because you're the cashier supervisor, and then you called your boss to get to the bottom of what's happening.
The boss Creed.
So I'm asking you, as the boss of the cashiers, why did somebody on your team and staff look at me, grab the scanner out of my hand? It was over here. We gave it to him. He was like, hey, man, here. He reached over the wood and the doors and went bloop, bloop, bloop. And I said, hey, man, they going to take care of the transaction. They got it. I'm out. You're being a racist.
Oh, shit.
And that's the truth. I don't have a racist bone in my body. And you got that racist energy all over you because you're not even willing to apologize, fix it, and point out the inconsistencies of what you know and your training and what the policies are. You're wrong. You're wrong, and I want your full name, and I'm going to reach out to the people who own this place, the CEO of Home Depot is my neighbor in Atlanta. Okay? So you don't have to give me a name. I'll figure it out. This is wrong. And people should not be treated this way. And if you got a policy and you reflect the policy of this place, then the policy should be consistent with everybody that works here. Okay? You don't care, right? Because you don't. He cares. That's why he came out. You're wrong. And I came here to tell you you're wrong, and you're not even willing to apologize. Your co-star and co-worker seen me, identified me, without ID. He was like, all right, cool. I said, yo, man, they gonna take care of everything. I gave him my credit card, and I walked out. Is that the policy?
All right, so that's it, man. Shout out to the homie once again, Forgotten Kings, for having this documented on the channel. So let's see what people saying now here. I would have died if Tyrese said, how you gonna act like that? All right, so as someone who previously employed with Home Depot, I would attest to the fact that we are trained to not disclose our, as well as our co-workers' last names. We are allowed to disclose the last name initial if we agree to do or so. However, we're encouraged to use our first name and our store number in situations such as these. Professionally, I do believe it could have been handled better. I believe so too. Like I told y'all beginning of the video, like why even go through all that? You see it? Oh, that's Tyrese. Oh, this Tyrese. Man, all right, here, swipe, keep it pushing. But you're inviting that energy because it's like now he's been inconvenienced, so he want to inconvenience you. So I guess that's what it comes down to. He's been inconvenienced, so he's gonna inconvenience you now. All right, so the way the manager stepped back and looked at the female employee, right? After finding out Tyrese handed his credit cards to his construction workers in the presence of one of the cashier's faces and verbally communicated it is priceless. The look on the manager's face said, well, damn, I need answers too. Now too, because if you run the cashiers, if you are over the cashiers and they're not following your instructions, your rules, your protocols, then now, yeah. All right, he handled it that way better than most people would. Props to him. That was absolutely beautiful when he said they work with me and not for me. There's a difference. Thank you. This was a masterclass on how to handle bad customer service respectfully. Facts. He's fighting for everyone's right and to dignity and fair treatment, and I applaud him. Right. I like how he kept his calm and demonstrated the inconsistencies very well handled. Tyrese. Yep. That was the thing about it. The inconsistencies. That's the problem. The inconsistencies. All right, so I work with Home Depot. This is embarrassing. We are not supposed to act like this. Our company is so diverse. We accept everyone and everything. I apologize with all my heart for the disrespect that does not show our values. This one of the reasons I stopped spending my money at Home Depot years ago. I don't miss seeing this kind of disrespect. I experienced this disrespect only once, and once was all it took for me as a pro customer. As a Home Depot manager, this is quite embarrassing to have this happen to Tyrese, let alone any other customer. Unacceptable. Love how the manager said, I didn't know that when he heard he was in the store with them shortly before and gave them his card in front of the other cashier. Her attitude on the phone with him and while he was there said she doesn't care. That should have never escalated. Facts. She created the store. She created the whole situation. So like I was saying playfully in the Tyrese situation, like it's on them now moving forward. Do they want to like see everybody ID they use credit cards in the future or not? I think they will want to say no, they don't want to do that. So now it becomes once again discernment as far as whether who you want to check that ID for. That's up to their discretion. You feel me? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I'm gonna go and get about it here though. Let me know what y'all think. I'm really interested to see y'all comments, man. I'm out, bro.